The Primeval Hunt, Chapter 1, Call to Adventure, narrated by Tommytoon Stories, featuring Dreamrayz and HimmyVT. Alaskan Wilderness, May 23rd, 2031. It was a rare day with clear skies in Alaska, a gentle cold breeze swimming through the woods, and a large beast grazed upon aquatic vegetation in a shallow river. And it was blissfully unaware of the danger lurking just down the river. The creature stood 7 feet tall at the shoulders, with massive antlers, dark brown fur, and a large nose. This was an adult male moose and a very aggressive bull. Down the river, a rowboat glided across the water, silently as the wind. With the man inside guiding the oars, his eyes were laser-focused on his quarry. Carefully, the man placed the rowboat upon the shore before taking up his weapon. It was his trusty rifle that he'd inherited from his late father. The hunter was a man by the name of Stephen Wulfe. Standing at 6 foot even and muscularly built, he was an imposing figure for those who didn't know him. His hair was jet black and short cut, accompanied by slightly tanned white skin. Across his face was a long handlebar mustache, and across the top of his head was a faded multi-line scar. He wore a light beige camo shirt, a cowboy hat, and a necklace with a rifle bullet. Stephen approached carefully. With the wind in his favor, the moose had no idea he was nearby, though the winds are always shifting. Turning the safety off, Stephen adjusted his scope. He intended for a double lung or a heart shot if possible, to make it as quick as possible for the animal.
Steady up. Wait for it. Make it clean.
However, the winds began to shift in favor of the moose, and the nostrils of the animal flared as it began to pick up on the scent of a human. Without warning, the bull raised its head, its ears standing on end as it became obvious Stephen was spotted.
Damn! It's startled. Gotta take the shot.
The beast stood for only a moment before collapsing. Soon after, Stephen was on his way back home. His mind drifted to something his father had written when he was around his age.
There I was, back in the wild again. Just like it happened so many times before. The spirit of the woods is an old, good friend. Its rivers carry me lost to shore. My feet will lead. My heart will soar. My spirit it will send. Its kin to share in harmony, and provide me food to mend.
The journey took him back to his riverside property. With evening rapidly approaching and the sun disappearing, he tied the boat at his dock. Stephen then went into the water to retrieve the moose that had been pulled behind.
There you are, finally back, Stephen?
Frank, is that you? Great timing. Come give me a hand.
Frank was Stephen's closest friend. He stood at 5'10" with a stocky build. He wore orange waders over a plaid shirt, and unlike Stephen, Frank had a large strawberry red beard. The two of them grabbed the antlers of the beast, dragging the moose to the shallows. They quickly brought it to shore, with Frank going to his truck and bringing out a pair of beer cans. Meanwhile, Stephen took a moment to rest on the ground.
Nice work. I've got some cold beer if you want some.
I'm good, Frank. Thanks.
Well, you certainly don't disappoint, Park Ranger, though I was getting worried that the bull trampled ya.
Mighty kind of you. Just trying to live up to my father's legacy.
Speaking of your father, this suit, a real dapper fella at the Drunken King, was asking around. Said he knew your old man.
That's weird. Dad wasn't the type to be friends with suits. You get a name?
No, but he's definitely rich, and had a huge briefcase. Assuming some potential financial gain, it's worth an inquiry.
I gotta take care of some housework back at my cabin. When you take this big boy into town, if you see him, tell him I'll be there in a few hours.
A few hours later, Stephen began his journey into King's Salmon, where the man who traveled far from out of town waited for him. A meeting that he would find out will forever change his life. By the time he'd arrived in the city, the Alaskan night sky had already blanketed the sun's light into a starry expanse. Walking across the surprisingly absent road, he walked to the doorway of the Drunken King. It was a large bar adorned with a red-painted wood exterior, and out front a neon sign portraying a drunken scallop with a crown. It was run by an elderly widow by the name of Miss King, who had lost her husband to cancer a few years before. Oddly, though, there was only Miss King and one man sitting at a booth present. It seemed whoever wanted to see Stephen wanted to do so as privately as possible. Old Lady King looked at Stephen and nodded towards the gentleman. The man at the booth was dressed quite well, with a blue dress shirt, a gray button-up overcoat, gray pants, and a white fedora. His skin was a light caramel color, with his hair and beard being a light grayish-white. He wore gold earrings, a set of gold bracelets, a designer watch, and a gold necklace. In his mouth, he smoked from an active cigar.
By God, you're out this boy alright. The Grey Wolf's cub.
Excuse my ignorance, but the serendipity must have not been mutual. Pops never mentioned you.
No, he wouldn't have. We met in Africa some time back. I was young and aspiring. Arthur, well, he was a legend in the game. The name's Terry Collins.
Collins? Yeah, your company's part of the Hunters conglomerates. King Salmon's a long way from Africa, Mr. Collins. What's a fat cat like you doing out here to these parts?
Just so we're clear, the Hunters conglomerates exist because of my company. Built by trophy hunters, for trophy hunters, and our future. Though, my new division will flip the game on its prehistoric head.
Prehistoric? Okay, you got my attention. So what's this about?
Business as usual for me, the hunt of a lifetime for you. One fit for the prodigy of the infamous Grey Wolf. I'm talking about the most dangerous animals to have ever walked the earth.
You can't be serious. Are you really saying the trophy is extinct?
Stephen was aware of the de-extinction projects that were already in development. But what Mr. Collins had suggested was something far more than simple reversal of genes. He couldn't believe it, but the possibility excited him. A full grin creeped onto his face, and he was hooked like a salmon. He was now being reeled in by the line cast by Terry Collins.
Not anymore. I employ some very gifted geneticists. Because of their efforts and lots of trial and errors, extinction is no longer forever. You get what I'm saying?
A moment later, Mr. Collins opened his briefcase and he looked at Stephen with a prideful smirk. Then he brought out a sizable tooth. One that was very clearly not a fossil, nor was it a replica.
This here is a tooth of a juvenile Allosaurus. And it is no fossil. Extracting scraps of preserved DNA from a lost era. Collins' core has conquered extinction. And I'm putting together a little hunting competition. I call it the Primeval Hunt. And I want you, Stephen Wulfe, to be a contestant.
A hunting game with prehistoric beasts? Sounds improbable and deadly. How can anyone assume to know how to hunt an extinct animal? Who are the other fools slated to hunt?
I'm well aware that what I'm saying sounds like science fiction. Listen, I don't need an answer right now. I still have some prep work ahead of me, so no rush on your end. Take this tablet, look over the player bios. Best of the best. Some you may recognize.
Stephen took the tablet from Mr. Collins and began to read the names. Stephen Wulfe, Yusuke Ryoshi, Sophia Santos, Wolfgang Grimsley, Sam Reynolds, and Jesse Cruz. He recognized Jesse Cruz from the Hunter Conversations podcast, though another name stood out to him, Wolfgang Grimsley. He had heard that name before, though he couldn't remember the details of how or why. but something about it felt oh so familiar.
You're serious about this? So, what? What do we gain from this? I'm not gonna do something this risky without incentive. Especially risking life and limb.
I get it. The risk is high. But believe me, so is the reward. Despite the dangers of trophy hunting previously extinct animals, you have a question to answer. What would the Grey Wolf do?
Dad was a great hunter. Some say legend. But he made his mistakes. And so did I.
Take my offer, restore the wolf name, and build a new legacy. This will be the ultimate hunt that will finally decide who is Earth's true apex species.
I'm in.
Glad to hear it. We leave for the islands tomorrow. Ready yourself.
I thought you said you needed prep time.
I would have if you declined.